celebrate this glorious day. Let us celebrate seasons past. Let us celebrate the season to come.
It really didn't matter what happened in the regular season for this football team as long as we made it to the playoffs, because all this team's going to be judged on anyway is how we do once we get in January.
How sweet the sound.
We will go to the Super Bowl. We will get our third straight. We will do something that's never been done before.
Saved a wretch like me.
I feel like we have a great chance of getting back there. I really do. I really feel like we're definitely one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league.
I once was lost.
It's kind of like that one shoe company had a T-shirt slogan, shut up and play. And it's that time. It's time to play.
But now I am found. I was blind, but now I see.
Hey, open them doors. What, did somebody turn up the heat? No way. It's Division Playoff Sunday. It's the NFL on Fox. It was 1967. These two teams went to war in one of the greatest games ever played. A contest so cool, they called it the Ice Bowl. Then, a prince named Landry was waiting in the shadows, while a king named Lombardi reigned supreme. Today, the Packers have plenty of faith, and even without Sterling, Mr. Favre has never been sharper. And this power preacher is making believers the world over. The boys had plenty of steam to grab 2 straight Super Bowls. But do they have the firepower to win a third? Now, here's 4 guys who could melt ice with their own hot air. Your hosts of the NFL on Fox.
A familiar sight come playoff time, Texas Stadium, home of the defending 2-time Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys, who have won 70% of the playoff games there, compared to just over half away from home. Emmitt Smith had a lot to do with the most recent victories, and amazingly, some people consider this a down year for Emmitt, who still managed to become the first player ever to gain over 1,400 yards in 4 straight seasons. Last week, Reggie White led the Packers in holding Barry Sanders to -1 yard on 13 carries. They'll need a similar performance today against Emmitt if they hope to corral the Cowboys. And hello and welcome to Hollywood Studio 7, and welcome to Fox's NFL Divisional Playoff Special. Well, today, Green Bay battles Dallas for the right to meet San Francisco in next Sunday's NFC Championship game. Well, the Pack brings the NFL's highest postseason winning percentage into today's game against the Cowboys team, with its sights set on an unprecedented 3rd straight Super Bowl championship. I'm James Brown, and joining me today are 3 characters who need no introduction. They get awfully grouchy around this time. We knew the toughest part for Howie, first year out of retirement, would be come playoff time. Yesterday, he gets mad and beats up on the producer. Can you believe that?
It's Scotty Ackerson, who's a little bitty guy.
Little guy.
Why don't he pick on someone your size?
Well, we all ran. We all ran.
Well, I was going to call Reggie White, but he's busy today. I'm going to have him help pull his buddy off of him. You know?
Howie, are you okay today?
Yeah, I'm in intense therapy, couple $100 an hour in Beverly Hills.
We are glad to have him.
But we know you're not paying for it, right?
No. I worked the promo out.
Let's hope the game is as good as Scotty's and Howie's action was yesterday. Well, today's game should go a long way towards demonstrating whether the Cowboys have the heart and horses for a 3rd straight Super Bowl drive, or whether the Pack is indeed back among the NFL elite. Pat Summerall and John Madden will call today's game from Texas Stadium, where they're standing by to shed some light on these questions. Pat and John.
Well, the first light I think you have to say is the weather. Boy, what a delightful day it turned out to be. It's supposed to be ice and snow, but it's bright and sunny. It's supposed to be about 60 degrees. The Cowboys have the horses, but the real question, JB, I think, is are they healthy horses? And what do you think, John?
Well, you know, when we talked to them yesterday and we watched them practice, they look like they're healthy. They say they're healthy. You know, Troy Aikman had the knee, Emmitt Smith, the hamstring, Michael Irvin has that quadricep injury. And you wonder, you can be healthy, but are they healthy enough to play at intensity of a playoff level game for the whole game? That's the question that I have. And I know one thing. I remember a year ago coming into the playoffs that the Cowboys were a lot more confident than they are right now.
I think really they question their health situation a little bit. As far as the Packers are concerned and the Cowboys are really concerned, they have to find out where Reggie White is and then they had to get him blocked.
Yeah, and you remember last time we were here and we did these two teams, you watched Reggie White here against Larry Allen. He has this move right here. I used to call that move a club. I saw Howie Long do it once on the pregame show, and he called it the hump. Last night when we were talking to Reggie White, he says he learned that move from Howie, and he calls it the Howie. So he's going to bring that one off the shelf today. So if you see guys going flying off of 92, that means he just Howied them.
And he's going to move up and down that Packer defensive line. The Cowboys' job is to find him. Now let's go back to JB.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. And indeed, Howie tried to execute that move on Jimmy Terry and myself. We got out of there last night, no doubt about it. Look, we heard John kind of questioning the health of Dallas. The other question most people want to know, is Dallas really ready to make it 3 straight? Do you think so?
Yeah, you know, if you listen to what Madden just said, that's the same questions I have. There was an old thing that Chuck Noll taught me, and he said he hated this when players did it. He called it false chatter. In other words, you say something and it sounds great, but deep inside you really don't believe it, JB. And I think the questions the Cowboys are having to answer today to all the media, they're tired of us saying what's wrong with them. We're tired of hearing they haven't scored enough points, only averaging 10 points the last. They're tired about Emmett and his hair, tired of this and tired of that, and they want to get to the big show. And, well, they're going to find out today. We'll find out in that opening quarter whether or not these Cowboys are ready to go and get that third title.
Yeah, when you talk to the Cowboy players, that to a man they say, hey, we are focused, we are ready, we are sick and tired of people asking what's wrong. We would like for nothing more than to go to San Francisco. Wouldn't want it any other way and whip San Francisco. Get by Green Bay today, whip San Francisco.
You know, how everybody looks at the last, part of the season and the Cowboys and how they played. I actually think that they were bored the last few ball games. I think they're like a heavyweight champion. They've got a tune-up fight today, getting ready for the #1 contender next week.
Well, that tune-up fight, I think, is going to be a pretty good opponent today. We'll see what happens with that. Well, there's a lot more to come when we come back. And a Cowboy who hopes to return to form after 2 weeks rest, that man, Michael Irvin. Terry Bradshaw talks to the man who's never been shy, and guess what? He's never been bolder.
We will go to the Super Bowl. We will get our third straight. We will do something that's never been done before. I can't allow myself, I can't allow my teammates and anybody around me to think any other way.
Oh, this is South Dakota. We found out Tony was pregnant in late April. Of course, the babies were born 8 weeks premature. It was hard on both of us.
The NFC Divisional Playoff is brought to you by Aflac, insuring over 38 million people worldwide. By Quaker State 4x4 Motor Oil, the intelligent oil for hard-working engines. By Red Lobster, for the seafood lover in you. And by 1-800-COLLECT, the way to save on collect calls.
All of Dallas is smiling with the knowledge that Troy Aikman is feeling healthy again. He's been zinging the ball in practice, and Dallas fans take heart. Troy is 6-0 as a postseason starter. But it's this man, Brett Favre, who was the NFL's second highest rated quarterback this season, trailing only Steve Young. Favre would gladly trade that Pro Bowl invite that he didn't get for a shot at the Super Bowl, and Bradshaw agrees. Back in a moment.
It still bugs me that I waited to try Old Spice High Endurance just because.
Number 6, the 49ers' Jerry Rice. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the second half of the countdown.
Once a year, they come together at Red Lobster. The sensational, the spectacular, the biggest. All with our lobster and shrimp feast. It starts with a sensational shrimp cocktail. Then, indulge in a spectacular lobster tail. Savor our largest golden fried shrimp and lobster and shrimp scampi over pasta. Enjoy them all in the lobster and shrimp feast. But hurry to Red Lobster. It ends January 15th.
Here we go with the second half of the countdown. At number 5, the Raiders' Rocket Ismail. Number 4, the Saints' Wesley Walls.
Diving fingertip.
Number 3, the Jets' Rob Moore.
It is a dive and a catch, touchdown.
Number 2, the Patriots' Ray Crittenden.
A leaping catch in the end zone.
But for the number 1 catch of the year, you'll have to tune in next week. And for a great catch every day, come to Red Lobster.
in the toughest, meanest game on earth.
You show us why we drafted you.
It's not whether you win or lose.
I think I broke my neck.
It's whether or not you survive.
That's a heck of a way to make the highlight reel.
Rise and Walk, the Dennis Byrd story.
It's not supposed to end like this. It hasn't ended.
Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Everyone ought to have a team of guys you like. And I got scouts, I got people out looking at babies. We keep looking all the way through the playoffs. We don't even just look in this country. If this team could go out and play, the other teams may not even show up.
The All-Madden Team, Sunday, January 22nd.
Michael Irvin's bruised thigh could be a big reason why the Cowboys have been limping on offense the last 4 games of the season. Cowboy fans have to hope that 2 weeks of rest are just what the doctor ordered for Big D's little offense. And welcome back to Hollywood, California. You know, the Cowboys lost 2 of their last 3 games after clinching the NFC East, and they look bad doing so. Now, Terry, I understand that you invited one of your neighbors, Michael Irvin, over to your house this week. Had a little conversation about the power of positive thinking.
You're kind of proud of yourself.
Thank you very much. Little ad-libbage, as you said.
I like a little ad-libbage. You know, there are a lot of players in the National Football League I look up to, most of them. And a lot of them really, you know, I'm not sure about. But this Michael Irvin guy is one of the neatest guys. And if you ever get the chance to sit down and talk to him, you find out just how much fun he can be. And he's also very honest. Check this out.
Michael, is this team in better shape this year than it was last year?
That's a good question. You know, people...
That's why I'm here. I'm here to ask good questions.
I figured that. You know, people always say, you know, are you a better team this year than you were last year? And we lost a lot of good players last year, last offseason to free agency. You know, you talk about losing Ken Norris, Thomas Evers, Kevin Gogan, John Giesecke, Tony Casillas, and then you still say, are we a better team? Every year we're going to be, I don't think we're going to be as good, as talented as we were the year before. So we just got to come back and say we got to make less mistakes than we did the year before. And the thing is, we're not doing that right now. We're not making less mistakes. We're making more mistakes, of anything. And that's what we got to straighten out before that first playoff game.
Who is stepping up right now for the Dallas Cowboys that as a leader, that may be a little bit out of character for them to do so?
I tell you what, who's leading our team, quite honestly, is Coach Switzer. Period.
Are you serious?
You know, and I'm dead serious. And I know he's been taking a damn bashing. But, you know, people don't understand what goes on around and behind closed doors and the things that he say to us, and we're going to be fine. We know we're going to be fine. You know, the thing is, we got to play football with the same confidence that we played in years past, regardless to who's going and who's here now.
You will look back on this and you will kick yourself 1,000 times, because I have, of all the things I've ever thought about, it's always been that one year. God, we could have done something that no one has ever done. Now, the Cowboys have that same opportunity, and these things don't come around. But I look at production, and I think, well, Michael can't drive off. They're reading your routes, old cuts, insides, quick slants.
They're sitting on them.
Okay?
And people don't want to hear excuses. It's not excuses. It's just the reality of it. It's not to say that we're not going to accomplish what we want to accomplish, what we set out to accomplish, because we will do that. That I promise. We will go to the Super Bowl. We will get our third straight. We will do something that's never been done before. I can't allow myself, I can't allow my teammates and anybody around me to think any other way, because then it's poison.
Will this team make it back to the Super Bowl?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Reebok.
Let me ask that again. This team going back to the Super Bowl this year?
Yes, sir. Can I say that? You want me to say yes,
say it again?
Sir, yes?
I don't know if it's for my benefit or yours.
Hey, you know what? I don't need to say it for my benefit. I say it for yours and for everybody out there watching. You know, don't worry about us. We're going to be fine.
Yep, he's going to be fine. He sees something else.
Yes, sir, Bob.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, you believe all this stuff? You think you believe?
Well,
does Michael believe it?
Well, first of all, if he was 100% sure, he wouldn't have called you sir.
Oh, I'm going to have to put a Howie on you now.
But I tell you what, you know, Michael Irvin played for me for 2 different teams, and he is fantastic to have on a team. Just his enthusiasm, his attitude, and it carries over to all the players. And I think Michael's really trying to give them a spark right now. You know, I think they need that spark, but the bigger spark is going to come if Michael and Alvin Harper get involved in the passing game and get some of those touchdowns like they did in the playoffs last year. That's going to be the big key, production on the field today.
Anytime you're successful as a team or as an athlete, I think you have to constantly reevaluate where you're at mentally. You have to find ways to trick yourself into being the best. When you're the best every year, as the Cowboys have been the last couple of years, they get complacent. They have to find some type of inspiration, and right now it's the world against us. They think everyone's against them. The Cowboys are the team to beat. They feel they're confident. They're ready to go.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see one 65-yard bomb to Harper right off the bat and let me know that Harper's in the game. Then I would be convinced of all of this.
How many brothers and sisters does Michael Irvin have?
17. He's got a large group.
17. So the point is, he knows exactly what to say.
Right.
We'll
he
see.
sets the stage.
We'll see what happens on the field today. All right, folks, don't get off that couch. We'll be right back with a live report from Dallas. And a young man who definitely bears watching is Packers wide receiver Robert Brooks, who had 9 receptions only during the regular season and 7 big catches for 88 yards while filling in for Sterling Sharp last week.
At your local True Value, finding someone to help you isn't a problem. Something that just can't be said of those enormous hardware warehouses.
Find them, boys.
Now during True Value's Fresh Start sale, auto-off smart bulbs are just $4.99 each. Automatically shuts off after 30 minutes with a 1-year guarantee. True Value. Help is just around the corner.
You a sports fan? Then you know what this is. All the games you're missing. How'd the Chiefs pull ahead? How'd Seattle blow out the Nuggets? Well, with DirecTV, you see the action, not just the scores. NFL, NBA, college, hundreds of games you probably couldn't get before. Games only on in other cities. Hey, you want numbers? Get a newspaper. You want sports? Get DirecTV. For your DSS 18-inch dish and DirecTV, see your RCA dealer.
It's fly.
Shut up.
It's fresh.
She wanted you.
It's funny.
You know what this is? One of these, only smaller.
It's the outrageous new comedy from the wild side.
Thank you very much.
The series premiere of House of Duggan tonight.
On January 29th, 1995, all eyes will be focused on the biggest event in television. The big game. But something even bigger is on the horizon. Through January 29th, buy any Mitsubishi Big Tube, Big Screen, or VCR and pay no money down, no interest, and no payments till 1996. At Ovation Audio Video in Castleton, Greenwood, and Lafayette Square.
Hi, welcome to Arnie's.
Meet you at Arnie's.
Hey, Indianapolis and all of Central Indiana. Get ready for the most outrageous sale you've ever seen. 59.
Here's a guy who's happy to be an underdog, Sean Jones. His old Oiler team wound up 2-14, while Sean's Packers are still in the Super Bowl hunt. His 10.5 sacks led the pack and made him the perfect bookend for one Reggie White. Well, you know, the Packers head into today's game at Dallas riding a 4-game winning streak, but they also bear the burden of a 4-game losing streak against the Cowboys. Ron Pitts reports from Texas Stadium on how Green Bay hopes to reverse the latter trend. And hello, Ron.
Hey, JB, how you doing, bud? You know what? I played for the Pack. I know a lot of guys in this team pretty well still. And I'll tell you what, I know when they're confident, when they got that look, and I also know when they're kind of blowing smoke. The Green Bay Packers are very confident of a win here today against the Dallas Cowboys. The main reason for it is what happened here on Thanksgiving Day. They had some success moving the football, particularly in the air, Sterling Sharp with 4 touchdown catches. But, you know, things have changed a lot since then. Of course, Sterling Sharp, he is not active, and you can't always expect for your defense to have the kind of performance they had last week against Barry Sanders. I talked to Brett Favre when he got off the bus this morning. He said we're looking, of course, for that perfect 50-50 run-pass split. But he said there's also some things we got to avoid on offense if we're going to be successful.
Well, the thing we can't do is get in third and long situations. If we end up 3rd and 15, 3rd and 10, that's what they like. They can pin the ears back and come at you, and they're very good at it. So we got to find ourselves in 2nd and 5 and 3rd and short situations.
And as far as that stomach problem he had a couple weeks ago, he said that's fine. He's not taking any medication for it. He's getting down. He's ready to play football, JB.
All right, Ron, thank you very much. And Ron is looking fit enough that the Packers might want to consider rehiring him for their secondary. You know, a big part of the Packers' recent resurgence on offense has been the use of the tried and true football weapon known as the screen pass. The guys are ready and waiting at Fox Field to demonstrate how the Packers earned the title of the screen pass kings. Professor Bradshaw.
Thank you, Reverend Brown. Thank you. Paul George, thank you. Well, boys and girls, this is our last year to use our football field, so we thought we'd bring the coach and the big Howie over here and demonstrate the king of screens of the Green Bay Packers. And, Jimmy, you say that the Cowboys are going to do a little something different today to stop the Packer screens?
Well, Terry, Edgar Bennett is probably the best screen runner in the entire National Football League. He does a great job of it. He's had a lot of success this year. And the Cowboys' ends and linebackers will look for a little tip to see when he's going to run the screen pass.
Now, he's fullback.
He's a fullback. And normally, Edgar Bennett will come out of his stance and he will check his responsibility for protection if there's a blitzing linebacker. If there's no blitzing linebacker, he's going to go on out into the pattern. Now, when he's going to run a screen pass, Edgar Bennett now, instead of stopping right here, he goes up into the line of scrimmage to kind of mix in with the offensive lineman and then wheel back around to set up the screen. So the ends and linebackers will watch Edgar Bennett to see if he's going to hide up into the line of scrimmage, and that'll tip them off if they're going to run the screen pass.
Well, if they're going to hide, if they're going to run the screens, one of the things, if you think about the Green Bay Packers, go back to their last game, Thanksgiving, and remember Brett Favre threw 4 touchdown passes to Sterling Sharp. Well, folks, 3 of these came off of scrambles, and one of the things defensive coordinator Butch Davis has told Tolbert and Charles Haley, the 2 fine defensive ends of the Cowboys, is this time, don't go past the quarterback's drop. Don't get behind Favre. See how they're behind Favre? And what Favre was doing, he'd set up. Now they gave him a lane underneath to get out, set up, and throw the passes. This week, you will see them read the 3, 5, and 7-step drop of Favre, and they want them to stay even with the quarterback and not allow him a lane to escape and throw the touchdown passes on the run. Now, we want to go back to another move that you saw demonstrated just now. Howie, come over here, will you? Show us once again the Howie move.
The Howie move. You are the tackle. I'm the quarterback.
I've been wanting to get
Are
back.
you sure you
back. I've been wanting to do this all year. Just, help me up, Jimmy. All right, come on, big guy. Hey. All right, I got Howie. You know, there's just nothing scary about the Howie move, JB. Take it away.
You see that catch, Terry? I called my own routes.
Oh, boy.
All right, folks, we'll be back before you know it with more insights into today's big game. And no one knows more about big games than Charles Haley. With his old teammate Joe Montana out of the playoffs, Charles is the only player left with a chance to win a record-breaking 5th Super Bowl ring. Back with more in a moment.
How you doing? Name's Red Dog. Red Dog. Now, I see a lot of you dogs out there yipping and yapping, chasing after anything that moves. Well, you know, sometimes you ought to lay low. And even when someone's trying to yank your chain, just let it ride. Red Dog. Be your own dog. So that when something good does come your way.
Red Dog beer. Bold yet smooth. Easy to drink.
You can make the most of it.
Now, an oil made just for your hard-working engine. 4x4 from Quaker State. Off-roading. Extreme temperatures. Towing and hauling. They all make your light truck or 4x4 work extra hard and could shorten its life. Why settle for a conventional car oil? Get 4x4 from Quaker State. The intelligent oil for hard-working engines. Now, get up to a $1.89 mail-in rebate on a 6-pack case of 4x4. So you buy 5 quarts and get 1 free.
This is Safeguard season. This is a season for germs. But Safeguard antibacterial soap eliminates 99.9% of germs you've come in contact with. Safeguard against germs.
It's an entirely new and revolutionary entertainment experience. And it's totally free. It's the 1-800-COLLECT Fox Sports Virtual Reality Tour. Look for it this week at San Francisco's Pier 39.
We're very fortunate to have such a wonderful family. After his operation, his body was like twice the normal size. He was on this respirator for 3 weeks. It was kind of lonely around here.
I got Aflac through our company. The owner of the company felt that we should have it. It turned out fabulous.
Aflac covers the unexpected costs of getting better so you can get on with life.
Everything worked out wonderful.
All right, back here for our final thoughts segment, and why not go to the originator of the hump move?
Yeah, I'm going to talk some skill stuff. You know, the Packers defensive backs and their staff feel that the Cowboys wide receivers got far too much latitude in the first game on that alley-oop pass, which has become the trend in the NFL. If you're going to live by the alley-oop, the Packers say you're going to die by it. Look for the Packers to submarine the legs out from under the wide receivers from the Dallas Cowboys. It's ugly time, boy. Playoffs.
Well, Howie, you're exactly right, because the Cowboys, to get back on track, look for them to force the ball deep, even against double coverage, to Alvin Harper to get him involved in the game early, and the same thing with Michael Irvin.
Stars have to play like stars in these games. And in this game, if you're going to go deep and you're a Green Bay Packer, watch for the safeties of the Cowboys who like to clamp and stop the hooks of the ends. Favre will go hook and go if he goes deep today because he doesn't have Sharp to run away with those little slant passes.
All right, good stuff. All right, folks, kickoff is just a few moments away. As a matter of fact, we will leave you with the introduction of the Dallas Cowboys, and Pat Summerall and John Madden will be taking the handoff just on the other side of this commercial.
You're watching a Fox NFL special, the NFC Divisional Playoff.
At Long John Silver's, $1.99 gives you a lot to get excited about. You get 2 of our famous batter-dip fish fillets.
For real?
Hot, crispy fries and crunchy hush puppies.
Get out of here.
And you save $1 off the regular price.
No kidding.
At just $1.99, it's a 2-piece fish deal like never before.
I'm gone.
But you better move fast, because it's only for a limited time.
I just saved a lot of money at the IRS. No, the IRS, the inventory reduction sale of Big Sur waterbeds and kids' beds.
You'll be happy, too, when you see how we've cut prices on one-of-a-kind selected floor model and scratch and dent water beds, bunk beds, day beds, and more. But hurry for best selection.
IRS, I really saved.
Big Sur waterbeds and kids' beds, Lafayette and Georgetown Road and 8310 East Washington.
It's time for Papa. Papa John's.
Now that's serious pizza.
Your kind of taste, your kind of fun.
Order Papa John's now and get a 14-inch large 2-topping pizza with breadsticks for only $9.95.
So call your Papa. Papa John's. Now that's serious pizza.
Dennis Byrd went from playing pro ball to complete paralysis. See the true story of how he came back. Yeah! Rise and Walk, the Dennis Byrd story, Tuesday on Fox.
Recently, a national publication bluntly declared an end to the Dallas Cowboys' 2-year reign as world champions.
Hey, America, we're raising from the grave. Remember, we're supposed to be dead, but we're the world champion Dallas Cowboys, and we're not dead yet.
As the Cowboys begin their run for an unprecedented 3rd straight Super Bowl trophy, they have added incentive, quieting the naysayers who think they've slipped a notch or two, disproving that theory has become a rallying cry on the field and in the locker room. Brett Favre and the Packers will take the first swipe at playing executioner. Green Bay's new star at quarterback has 16 touchdowns in his last 6 games, while Reggie White is the rare defensive player who can dominate a game. But he'll need plenty of help if Green Bay is going to truly bury the Cowboys and take away the champion's crown. delightful day in Texas as the Green Bay Packers face the Dallas Cowboys at Texas Stadium. Pat Summerall here with John Madden, and the Cowboys coming into this game, John, thinking that they're all healthy. They coasted sort of down the stretch, and now it's a matter of whether or not they can turn it on for the